Hi everyone, my name is Jagan. In last class, we have discussed about the grep command and less and more commands and how to restart and reboot the server and how to identify how long the server has been up and running and who has logged in the server and IP address of the server. Today, we will see user administration in a Linux. User administration in a Linux is nothing just creating the user's account and deleting the user account and providing the access to the files and the directories, creating a user's account and deleting, setting a password to user account. So generally we create the user accounts. Some application developers or software developers, they make a request to access the files or directories. So in such scenarios, we create the user's account and provide the access to the files and directories. So how to create the users in a Linux? How to create the users? Syntax is user add username. User add username is a command. When we issue the command user add username, the user will be created. So after creating the user, let's see example. User add Bharat. So user add Bharat. So this example. After creating the user, we need to set the password for the user. So how to set the password for the user? How to set the password for the user? How to set the password for the user? Syntax. Passwd username. Example, passwd Bharat. Okay. So user creating the user account and setting password is quite simple. Uh, so we don't have to struggle about creating the user's account. And one more thing is only root administrator has all privileges to create the user account and to set the password to reset the password. But normal users do not have such a privileges to create user accounts and to change the password. You need to remember. So you need to remember. So this is the important thing. Since root admin has all privilege to create a user account and to change the password, to reset the password, to change, not to set to set and reset the password. So normal users do not have such permissions to create the user account. However, normal user can change his or her, her password only. So, for example, I logged in as a root, so I can create the users and I can set the password. I can reset the password. For instance, if I logged in as someone like Bharat, so for example, I logged in as a Bharat, so I can only change my password. I cannot change the other someone else's password. So that is the key difference between a root account and normal user account. So there is a one thing that we need to remember. Okay. Okay. After that, we create a user account. So we don't know whether the user account is exist already or not. So how to identify whether the user account is exist or not? How to identify if user account is exist or not? How to identify syntax is grep grep username slash etc slash passwd grep username slash etc slash passwd or grep sorry id username. So we have two ways to identify whether the user is exist or not. So grep username slash etc slash passwd slash etc slash passwd have all users account, so we can find the information of the users account in slash etc slash passwd. So okay, first I'll create the user account and I'll show you how to set the password, and I'll show you how to identify with a grep and id the grep command with whether if the user is exist or not. Okay, now who am I? Who am I is tells who's currently logged in. So I logged in as root. Now, so as I logged in as a root, so I have a privilege to create a user's account. For example, okay, so user add Bharat. So user add Bharat. So ID Bharat. So Bharat user account is created. So I want to set the password for the Bharat user account. So how to set passwd bharath. Now it asks us to set the password. So bharath. Okay, now it's giving us all authentication tokens updated successfully. We have set the password. Okay, now we have seen how to create the password, how to set the password, and how to identify if user account is exist or not. For example, I don't know whether the Bharat account is created or not. But if I try to create again the same account, user account, how it gives us, let's see, user add bharath. So it giving this error, it giving message stating that it already exists. ID. So if you try to create the already existing account, user account, it gives us a message like Bharat already exists. This is one way. Another way is ID BHA RATH. So it gives us the information of the Bharat user account, user ID, group ID, and groups. This is one way. Another way is grep BHARATH slash etc slash passwd. So it gives the information of Bharat user account. So either way, we can find the Bharat user account. Now, okay, see, I have created Bharat user account. So if you notice the Bharat user account information, here we have Bharat colon x colon 1003 1006 and slash home slash Bharat colon slash bin slash bash. So what is this Bharat? We know. So Bharat user account we know. But what is this? Let me explain all this information. So when the user account is created, when the user account is created, by default, there are certain properties that are taken into account while creating user account. There are certain properties taken to account by default. What are the properties? What are the properties while creating the user account? So first one is user ID, UID. Next one is user own group. Next one is home. Next one is description. Next one is shell. So these properties will be considered while creating the user account. So if you notice here, we have seen Bharat and colon and no, and here we'll see if I show you. So Bharat colon X and this 10 ID, user ID, group ID, and this directory, this is a shell. Okay. By default, these all are assigned while creating the user account. So what is this user ID and user own group? I'll explain UID. So user ID generally in Linux, uh, user IDs are created and assigned to each and every user account. So user ID, the range is from 0 to 60,000. So first one is 0. So 0 user ID is reserved for root, is for root account, and 1 to 99. This is it is for system account, and 100 to 999. This is for app accounts. This IDs are reserved for app accounts. These 1 to 9, these IDs are reserved for system accounts. And and 1,000 to 60,000. These IDs are reserved for normal accounts. Next one is user own group. Here we have created the one account that is Bharat with the same name. Group is also created. Every user. So here we have a user ID and we have user own group. User own group, while creating the user account, the user group is created with the same username. For example, I created Bharat, so the group name would be Bharat, and he has his ID, group ID. So group ID also in sequence number. So I'll show you. And next one is home directory. So kernel assign home directory. The kernel assign a home directory. For example slash home slash bha RATH. So slash home slash Bharat. So home directory in slash home directory. So slash home directory, the user's directory is created. Next one is description. Users info or comment. We can mention the user's description or his information. And next one is shell. In Linux, there are six shells: SH, BSH, DSH, CSH, TCSH, and KSH. So we have six shells. So bash shell is the default shell. Bash shell is default shell. Okay. So I'll show you the example. Okay, see, Bharat is the username and X is this password mapped, and 1003 is the user ID. This is the user ID. 1006 is the group ID. Okay, and slash home slash Bharat is a directory, and slash bin slash bash is a shell. Okay, so these are all information by default assigned by the kernel. So so we can create the user with specifications like user ID. We can change it, and his group and comment and what directory and the shell also. I'll show you how to create the user with specification. So how to create the user with specification? Okay, so user add u 105. Okay, see, I have created the user account with a specification. Okay, I'll explain here. Username Lakshman, and his home path. Home path is slash opt slash Lakshman, and user ID. What is user ID? User ID is nothing 1005, and secondary group. Linux users is secondary group, and comment system admin. System admin is a comment we have given, and shell is slash bin slash sh. So these are all information we have mentioned here while creating the user account. Generally, what happens is when we want to create the user account, we create the user account with a user ad and username. But if you want to create the user with the specifications like user ID and is a secondary group and a comment and a directory, which directory and what is the shell. So we can mention here like this. So I'll create here with an example. So here, this is secondary group. Linux users is secondary group. So primary group, what is the primary group? Primary group would be Lakshman is the primary group. So as I said earlier, when creating the user, the group is also created. So the primary group is created with the same name as a username, that is Lakshman. Okay. let's create the user account Lakshman with a specification as I said here. User add hyphen u, that is the user ID 1005, and uh, hyphen g hyphen g hyphen g is primary user, primary group. Sorry, primary, not second. The hyphen g is hyphen capital G is secondary group. Hyphen g is primary group. So Linux users. C for comment. System admin. D is directory. Okay, now we have created a user account Lakshman with specifications like a user ID and his secondary group and comment and a directory and a shell. Home directory. Okay, sorry, slash. Okay, so the Lakshman account is created. ID. You you see here the Lakshman. We have created 1005. This is the user ID. 1007 is a group ID. Okay, and the system admin is a comment. Slash opt slash Lakshman is a directory. Slash bin slash sh is a shell. So this is how we can create the user with the specifications. Okay, now I'll explain in Notepad. So, hyphen u is user ID. Hyphen g. Hyphen g is a primary group. Hyphen capital G is a secondary group. Hyphen c is a comment. Hyphen d is a directory. Hyphen m is a make. Hyphen s is a shell. So this is a user account specifications. While creating the user, we can mention user ID and his primary group and his secondary group and a comment or information and a directory, and hyphen m is the make. While creating the user account with specification, we mention hyphen m to make the directory and the hyphen s is to create the shell. So this information is required. So while creating the user account with specifications, we mention this information. So this is the one. And if we want to change the user's primary group, we can change the user's primary group. So how to change the user primary group? How to change users primary group? How to change user mod? Syntax. User mod hyphen G Linux users Linux admin. Oh, sorry, Linux users system users. Oh, sorry, Linux users and username Lakshman. Okay, so we can change the primary group from Lakshman to Linux users. How? Let's see how to change the primary group. User mod hyphen G Linux users Linux users and now we'll see his primary group grep Lakshman slash etc slash passwd. See id. See, so now this is group id 1004 and user id. Now see Linux user. So he's only the part of group id 1004 group, that is Linux user. So we can change the his primary account from default account Lakshman to primary account Linux users. Okay, so this information passwd is the user account information. Cat slash etc slash passwd. So the in this directory slash etc slash passwd we can find the all users account information. Lakshman C, Lakshman and X is a password mapping. So here in all accounts user information, here the X denotes the mapping the password. Before before there was a password here encrypted, but there is a separate file for password information. And 1005 is the user ID, 1004 is the group ID, and system admin is the comment or info. OPT slash Lakshman is a directory, home directory, slash bin slash sh is the shell. So we can find the user account information in the file slash etc slash passwd. Okay. Now, if you want to see the password information, users password information, slash etc slash sha dow. Shut up. See, so we have set the password. We have set the password for Lakshman. Sorry, we haven't set the password for Lakshman, right? We have set the password for Bharat, I think. Yeah, we have set the password for Bharat. So Bharat and encrypted password, and this is the minimum. This is the encrypted password, and this is the 19,896 is the number of days since 1970, and this is the when the Linux was launched, and 0 is the minimum password age, 90,999 is the maximum password age, and after that colon 7 we have this is the password warning age. So once the 19,992, after that we have 7 days. So since the 19,992, it start warning us that stating that the password will be expired. The 7 days is the password warning age, and we have a colon, that is the password expiry date, password active account date. So this is where we can find the user's password information. Where can we find user's account and password information? Password information and user account information. User account information slash etc slash passwd user password information slash etc slash shadow. So after setting the password, there are 8 fields that we need to know, like username, password encryption, and since there are certain days that I've given, and minimum password age, maximum password age, and warning, and two two colons, sorry, two colons. So we'll see each and every 8 fields. What are the 8 fields that we have got after we enter into the slash etc slash shadow. Slash etc slash shadow. So when we go to slash etc slash shadow, we got the user's password information. So user's password information cat slash etc slash shadow. So here the Bharat information, password information and all we have got. So Bharat is username, and this is a password. Password which it is in encrypted form. This is password is encrypted. Sorry. This is a encrypted password. Okay, and number of days since 1970, 19,896 days. Here it's showing number of days since 1917. This is the 1986, and minimum password age. Minimum password age is 0. Maximum password age. Maximum password age is 99,999, and password warning age. Password warning age, how many days since you start giving the warning stating that your password will be expired in 7 days, like that. And we have a few more fields, that is account in active days and account expiry date. one more field, account in active days 0, account expire days 0. So we find this information. Bharat, we have set the password, which is password encrypted, and then number of days since 1970, minimum password age, maximum password age, and warning, and password account in active days and account expiry days. So this is uses password information. Generally, if we want to modify the user's account information, like I want to change the user ID, user ID, or primary group, a secondary group, a directory, or I want to change the shell, how to change, and I want to lock the account, and I want to unlock the account, and so this information we will see one by one. So I want to change the user name. So I have set the username, that is Lakshman. I have to create the user account Lakshman. I want to change the Lakshman name from Lakshman to LAXMAN to LAXH Lakshman. How to change user account? So syntax, how to change user name and user ID and user primary group and directory and shell. We'll see. uh, Syntax. So if you want to change the username, user ID, user primary group, or user secondary group, or directory or shell, user syntax is user mod. User mod is to change the user mod is user modification to change the username or user ID or primary group, secondary group, and directory on shell. So how to change the username? I want to change the username. So how to change? Hyphen L. Hyphen L is to change the user. L means login. You remember like that. L user mode hyphen L. So which name I want to? What is the name that I intend to set? There is LAXHMAN. And what is the old username? LAXMAN. So this is to change the user name. So user mode hyphen L Lakshman to Lakshman, from Lakshman to LAXHMAN. So how to change the user ID? User mode hyphen L, sorry, hyphen U 1008 LAXHMAN. Okay, once we change the password, once we change the login name, the user name would be LAXHMAN. Therefore, I set like this to change user ID. So how to change the user primary group? So primary group would be something user mode hyphen G. What is the primary group that I want to change? What is the group? Okay, I'll change, I'll create the group now. System admins. System admins is the primary group name. LAXHMAN to change the user's primary group. User mode This is secondary group. Capital G is a secondary group. Small g is a primary group. Linux users. D is a directory to change the users directory. To change the user's shell, user mod -s /bin /bash and Lakshman. And so this we have changed the login username. We have changed the user ID and group name, primary group, secondary group, and directory. And so directory Lakshman, sorry, -m. Here -m denotes the to change the to move the directory. Here M denotes the move to directory while modification while no doing while uses modification. -m we mention -m denotes move the directory. While creating the directory we mention -m. -m means to make the directory. So you need to remember both these two things. Creating the directory or modifying the directory. Modifying is to move the directory. Creating the directory is to make the directory. -m stands for. I've already mentioned how to create the directory. Sorry, how to create the user, how to mention the directory while creating the user account. So we'll see each and every thing in everything practically. Okay, so what we are planning to do, we are planning to change the user's login name. So first user mod -l so what is the name that we want to set? LXH MAN Lakshman LX. So LAXH Lakshman. We have changed username LAXMAN to LAXHMAN. We'll see whether Lakshman exists or not. ID LAXHMAN. Yes, we have changed the username Lakshman to LAHMAN. So we have changed the username. Now we will change the user uh, we will change the user ID. So user ID is 1005. So we will change the user ID, user mod hyphen u 1006 LAXHMAN ID. Yeah. See, we have changed the user ID from 1005 to 1006. Okay. Now we'll change the user's primary group. So primary group is Linux users. Okay, we'll create one group. Okay, there will be group add, sorry, group add. Okay, we'll change the group, primary group for user Lakshman. So, so the primary group for the Lakshman is Linux users. We will change the Linux users to system admins. User mod hyphen G. Small g is a primary group. Capital G is a secondary group. Remember. So system hyphen admins Linux HMAN. Okay, we'll see his primary group. Yeah, see. So his primary group is system admins. Okay, and system admin is the primary group. So he is part of the system admin and Linux user. Okay, slash it is. So these are a number of the groups. If you want to see the group information, slash etc slash group. So we have groups like users group, Krish, Linux, Raju, Bharat, Lakshman, and system admins. Okay, now his primary group is system admin. His secondary group is Linux users. So we have seen how to change the username and primary group and secondary group. And we will see how to change his directory, user mod slash d slash dev slash LAHAMN slash m LAX LAXHMAN. So we have changed this directory. Correct. See, we have changed his directory slash dev slash Lakshman. Now we'll see his shell. Okay. Earlier, now it is his shell is slash bin slash sh. Let us change from slash bin slash sh to slash bin slash bash. User mod hyphen s slash bin slash bash lex. Now we have changed the his shell from sh to bash. So we have seen this is how we can change the user's login name and user ID and primary group and secondary group and directory and and shell. So this is how we can change. And let's see how to log the user account. Okay, grep. Let's see whether the user account is logged or not. So to see whether user account is logged or not, grep grep lex man slash etc slash shut up. So see here two exclamation marks denoting it is stating that user password is not set and user account is not logged. Okay, so you need to remember. So let's see after logging, then we'll see user mod hyphen l laxh. So user account is logged. Let's see. Okay. So this is how we can set the user account user account information. How to change the user login name and how to log the account. So to unlock the account, okay, we'll use the user mode hyphen capital U lex hman. So here it's showing user mode unlock the user list password screen. So you should set the password with the user mode to unlock the user account. Okay, first we set the password, then only we can log the user account. Sorry. Okay, let's set the password. Passwd lex hman. Okay, now we have set the password. Now uh, let's see. Correct. Okay, now we don't find the two exclamation marks because the user account is locked. User account has set the password. So if we try to log the account, sorry, user mode. Now user account is locked. So how to unlock the user account? User mode hyphen u. So this is how we can log the account and unlock the account and see the user's information and all. So user mod hyphen capital U, name of the user, is to unlock the user account. Capital L, name of the user, is to log the user account. So, so we have seen how to change the username and how to change the user directory and primary group and secondary group, and where can we find the user account information, user password information. So this is how we do. Okay, this is the end of the class. Thank you for watching. Keep watching my videos for more Linux classes. Thank you for watching.